Controlled Chaos with your hosts, Liz and Allie.
I'm Liz, the writer.
And I'm Allie, the publicist.
We are your quintessential 40-something besties who dive headfirst into all things pop culture.
Think motherhood, relationships, hot stories taking over your newsfeed, and of course, the latest gripping true crime mysteries.
This is Controlled Chaos, your much-needed weekly pop culture juice.
Drink up! Hey, everybody. Welcome back to
Controlled Chaos.
Woo woo. Today, we are definitely going to talk about something that is very controlled, but also chaotic. And that is.
And you cannot look like it's everywhere on your feed. It's Travis and Taylor, you guys. I even put his name first, which no one does.
TNT. Yeah, TNT.
It's TNT. And like, you know what? If you're going to, I know you're thinking right now, why are you talking about this? I'm so sick of it. But are you? Because everyone's sort of into it. You cannot even scroll down your feed without being every other post. It's crazy. Like their kiss when he won the AFC championship, I thought was absolutely adorable. I thought the whole thing was cute. So we're going to dive into that, but it's not going to be just that. It's going to be kind of like, you know, what's real, what's fake in the celebrity couple world, and the big NFL versus Taylor Swift debate. You know, who's the bigger brand? What's the bigger draw? And I think that's been really interesting, definitely between my husband and me. But yeah, we want to talk about that and just get into it.
And keeping in mind that the Super Bowl is just a couple weeks away, so you'll likely be listening to this after the Super Bowl. So we'll try to make sure this is relevant and topical, but at the same time, you know, being that Liz is a writer and I'm a publicist, we are engulfed in this world of celebrityism and dating and what's good for the brand and the image and what's bad. And we've lived through, you know, the trials and tributes of like people like Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake and Kim Kardashian and her infamous wedding that she had on TV that lasted a day. So
yeah, we really are. We're really in that world. I mean, Allie's done a lot of entertainment publicity, and I used to write for Us Weekly. So I have seen kind of behind the puppet show of these strings. I know how much is not real, and I know how much is for publicity, as Allie knows too. It's actually extremely interesting how this all works and like for brand image. So I mean, honestly, the NFL and Taylor Swift coming together are two monstrous brands colliding. And the debate has been in my house, of course, and like I'm sure you've seen these memes online where, you know, men, I'm not gonna, you know, women watch football too, but it's mostly men. And they're like, hello, everyone knows who Travis Kelce is. And I had a debate with Ryan, my husband, and I was like, no, they really don't. Everyone does not know who Travis Kelce is. Your world does.
And I can attest to that because I had no idea who Travis Kelce was before he started dating Taylor Swift. And I was also the idiot in my household of, how do you not know who Travis Kelce is? He's like Hall of Famer, crazy football player, famous. And I'm like, I literally have never heard his name before.
So in the football world, and I am a football watcher myself, but in the football world, he is a big deal. Him and his brother, Jason Kelce, are two really, he just retired this year. I mean, these are not just like okay players. They are Hall of Fame players. They are incredibly good. So he's, you know, he just surpassed, I mean, another huge player, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. They had the most. So Travis Kelce is a receiver. He's a tight end, actually. So he catches the ball, the quarterback throws it, and scores touchdowns. That's really what that means. They just surpassed the most, him and Mahomes, which is the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, just to show you how good they are. They just surpassed like the best record for like pass and receiving over Tom Brady, who's like the best quarterback of all time. So he's a big deal. In short, he's a big deal. But I don't think people who don't watch football are just like, Travis Kelce. Since T Swift has come on the scene, you guys, I mean, I think it's incredible what she's doing for the NFL. Like people's daughters are watching the games with their dads who never used to watch before. It's becoming like this bonding experience. I think it's sort of amazing. His jersey sales have gone through the roof since she's come into play, literally. And my theory is the NFL needs her way more than she needs them.
I completely agree. And we were talking before too about like US versus international, like Super Bowl and football, our version of football is obviously very popular in the US, but globally, I mean, football, soccer is the sport that everybody knows, and all the celebrities that come out of athletic celebrities that come out of that. Most people don't follow the Super Bowl outside of the United States.
No, so they don't. We forget that, but they don't.
And Taylor, hello, everybody knows Taylor internationally. I mean,
she's an international phenom brand. I mean, her tour over there, her Eras tour. I mean, yeah, it's like the NFL seems so huge where we live, but like you said, football is soccer everywhere else in the world except for our country.
Now, the question I think that a lot of people then ask is, so is this real or is this fake? And we'll never really know. I think Fold and I both feel it is real.
Never know. You never really know.
Never really know. But you know that Taylor sat down in a room with her team of 8,000 people, and they went through
Yeah.
the entire checklist. How could he
Yeah.
hurt her? How could he help her? Is this
Oh
good
yeah.
for my image? Is this bad? Could this help us bring more money? When is the right time to launch it? When should we? You have to have these conversations when you are as big of a star as Taylor, and when you're as big as of an athlete. And
As him, yeah.
yeah,
She probably has to have more convers I think her status requires her to have more conversations around things like that than maybe he does, but I think you bring up an interesting point. Even when the relationship is real, which just FYI, I really think this one
I do
is.
too. You can tell when
I
they kiss
definitely
and the way they
yeah, I do,
are.
and I'm
Yeah.
so here for it. I absolutely love it. I love every second of it. I hope they get married. I
Oh
think
my
he
God, can
is.
you imagine that wedding? Oh,
I hope they get married. I also think he is
wait, do you think they're
so
gonna elope
cute.
and like do something really private that no one will like?
I don't know. I
It's
can't
like
even
a
go there yet.
massive publicized.
I get too excited to even think about it. But I think that their relationship is real. But like what you're saying is very true. Even when a celebrity relationship is real, there is never not business around it. It's impossible.
You
You're
have to.
when you are a walking, talking, living brand,
Your
your whole
livelihood.
life, it's your bit like you are your business. There is never going to be just like, oh, I'm dating this guy. There's and so I think that's so every in a way, every celebrity relationship is somewhat not fake. It's just it's managed. It's like it's a business sort of transaction, which I
One
think is
thing
really interesting.
One thing I wanted to bring up, I agree. And one thing I wanted to bring up was, the Grammys are coming up and she's not, I think they're this weekend actually.
She's flying solo because he has the Super Bowl. I mean, the
Right.
guy
Like
has
how
to
could he
do
go to
his
that? And
job.
also
Yeah.
imagine if he did go and then he lost the Super Bowl, the
Oh,
backlash of that on her. But I love that she's
yes.
obviously committed, hopefully with some Grammys in hand, going to the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. And because we're recording this right now, it's actually today's the first day of February, isn't it?
Yeah, February
Oh my God,
1st.
happy
But the
February
Super
1st.
Bowl is the 11th, so we're 10 days away. And, I think that's also funny too, Phil, because people have said, some people are just like hating on this whole thing, saying that Taylor's a big distraction for
Right.
Travis. I'm like, well, he's in the
Into
Super
the
Bowl.
Super Bowl again.
And I don't know if that's true. And meanwhile, if he goes to one of her concerts, he's the supportive boyfriend. It's just like the double standard of men and women,
Right, right. Like
which is a whole
she's
other topic. But
totally another
it's
topic. Yeah.
ridiculous. Like the girl goes to watch him in games, and yeah, she's getting a lot of publicity because she's Taylor Swift. She also got this. She's wearing these custom jackets. Have you seen that?
Yes.
She's wearing
Oh,
these custom jackets from a wife of the football player on the Chiefs, and I'm like stoked for her.
is
She's
that
huge
from
now.
what's the name? From who? From
He's on the Chiefs, and I can't think of his name right now. It's his wife who's making these jackets. They're now
Mahomes?
gone. No, it's not Mahomes' wife. But Brittany Mahomes and T Swift are like besties now,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
which I'm sure she loves. This is another girl I follow her. I can't think of her name, but she used to make them for Brittany. She made one for Taylor, and the video went nuts. And now this girl's like, I mean, can you imagine Taylor Swift wearing a jacket? Like,
So
it doesn't get bigger than that.
let's predict if they lose at the Super Bowl, how will this impact Taylor?
Oh, it won't impact her at all. I mean,
Well, like the news. Are we gonna see like disgusting articles,
I
clickbaity, like
mean, the people are going to trash anything they can. We know that. But I don't think. I mean, I think the fact that he's in the Super Bowl, there people are already like I don't know if even CNN guys has calculated how she's going to make it back from Tokyo in time for the Super Bowl because she's going to be. So funny, like the whole world's obsessed with this. She's gonna be in Tokyo performing it because Tokyo is 12 hours ahead.
oh my
She can make
God.
it back. It's like this whole crazy thing. Like the whole world's doing this math. It just cracks me up, like how much we're focused on this. And people are saying that the NFL is the bigger brand. No, you have one of the biggest news networks
Yeah.
in the world calculating Taylor's arrival. I think the NFL can sit down.
I do too. And also, I think audience wise, I mean, there definitely are people being exposed to Taylor that were never exposed to her before. Does that now mean they're adopting her music and like listening to it in their car? Not necessarily, but I know people
No,
like me are tuning in a little bit more because I love watching them and I love learning more about him via her and vice versa. And
yeah,
seeing her get in. It's exciting. We all grew up around Taylor. But wait, question for you then. So, Taylor on this pedestal of she has always done an excellent job of maintaining her reputation. Her
oh
music,
yeah,
right? Like, and you can tell she has a strong
flawless.
team. We've talked about this before. A lot of it has to do with the parents, the way you're raised, and, like
Yeah,
just, but it's scary to go into territories like this where you're dealing with someone else that is super huge and big and, especially in his own right in the sports world and football, and with a very passionate following and a very big podcast. And he gets all these different sponsorships and deals, and Lord knows how much he's being paid for all these COVID commercials and everything he's
yeah.
doing. which is another crazy thing. But I feel like, whether or not it's fake or real, let's err on the side that it's real, because I don't think Taylor's a fake person like that, because I know her so
I don't
well.
either. I
Yeah.
really don't. I mean, I know I don't know her, but I feel like I do. I
Right.
said we're
We all
probably
feel
going to
like
be
we
like
do
the
from her
best
music.
2.5 hours ever.
And she always puts her fans first. We know that that's like a big thing for her. So
Yeah.
like what could happen in a scenario here, because Taylor has done such a good job of managing her reputation and keeping herself positively viewed, and kind of strays away from drama, even during all the horrific things that have been going on in Gaza and with Israel. Like, she has stayed silent. There have been some celebrities like Selena Gomez who've had to delete stories and things like that. She has always, and sometimes I like this
But
about her.
not always. She came out against Trump very, very publicly,
She did.
against her father's wishes. That was in her documentary because her father's Republican.
So
And
this is what I was going to
yeah,
say. There do seem to be some moments where she seems to step out and speak up, but for the most,
yeah.
she does seem to maintain pretty politically balanced when it comes to all these different, things going on in the world. So what happens, I guess my first question is, what happens if they do lose the Super Bowl? What happens if Travis does something stupid? What happens if,
Here's the
I don't know,
thing.
what happens?
I mean, I don't think the Super Bowl loss is gonna be a big deal, but I will say this: this is the most public relationship she's ever had,
Right.
and it's been so. If her and Travis break up, I mean, I just feel like this is gonna be a big one because I mean, look, she's made a career out of her breakups. Her songs
Exactly.
are all about breakups, so it's not like she's not gonna write another incredible best-selling album if they break up. So it's really no like that's gonna be fine. But this is the most public relationship. I mean, like that I've ever seen her have. Even Harry Styles and Jake Gyllenhaal, all the people she dated, it was nothing like this. This has been like a total media blitz like I've never seen. So yeah, I don't know what'll happen. I mean, what will happen is she'll write another album, check, and it'll be a bestseller. But what happens with Travis, I think people will just eventually forget about him. But I think he's
So
getting a
he's the
really
real
good.
loser here. She's the winner.
No, I mean he's not. He's just gonna like. I don't know. I think they'll both just go back to living their lives. I mean, Travis is a very good looking, very successful football player. I mean, I find him very, very attractive. I think he's
Very
super cute.
attractive.
He's just hunky. Like hunk is the right word for him.
I know he's super
Like
hunky.
he's
I
super
can't help but
hunky.
be a
And
little
she's
jelly of
really
her.
tall and she looks so like
Ah,
small with him because he's so tall and like big and hunky. I said the other day when we were watching him to Ryan, my husband, I'm like, he's just really good looking. And he's like, well, yeah, of course. I'm like, that's such a funny answer. But like even
but
men,
I think that's going to be a new career area for him too, especially, athletes eventually
oh
can't
yeah.
play
So
forever.
a lot of people think that's and like Ryan too. A lot of people thought that's why this was fake at first because he was
Mm.
all of a sudden coming out like doing a lot of TV stuff, Pfizer stuff, commercials. He was on podcasts. So everyone's like, "Is this like they're trying to boost his career?" I'm like, I don't think Taylor does that.
Well, let's talk about timing a little bit, because every single celebrity out there, no matter who we talk about, is going to come up with activities, ideas, things they're going to do to boost their career. That's just a
Yeah,
given,
of
and it's
course. I
tied into
mean, it's always on
relationship.
your mind. Yeah, yeah.
Always. So we have Taylor's been on a tour. Is her tour done, or is she still touring?
I think Eras is still international because she has the Tokyo show
All right.
or the
Okay.
Super
So
Bowl. Yeah.
she was in, and this is obviously by far record breaking tour, movies. Was that she was, what was she at the Golden Globes? I mean,
Like
she's everywhere now.
she netted billions, like netted
Crazy. And
that.
he's obviously heading into the Super Bowl now, and that was leading up to it. And he's
Yeah.
got the podcast that has blown up now even more. I don't know. Was his podcast with his brother really famous and well known before? Because I see it on my feed all the time now.
In his industry, in
But
with
not
like
like
other
more,
like
not more wider.
not like this, not like
Right. And
this.
I really enjoy it. I think it's fun. I think his
Oh, I
manner
think him and
is
Chasen are so
fun.
funny. They're
Yeah,
really
I think
funny.
they're both really funny.
That's the thing. Like these people are funny and entertaining. It's just they weren't on the map like now.
So it's the relationship, I think, has been good for both of them. But I know that we were both talking earlier about, like, how Taylor did come out before, saying, talking about her hatred towards Trump, and we know she endorses Biden. So that's a conversation too, right? Like, she does have all this power, and she
He
does
does.
reach a lot of these Gen X's, these younger people who can now vote, that have been following her, that are above 18 now. What does this mean for the elections, and like, how
Well,
does
it
this?
depends what she does. There's been a lot of rumors that saying she was going to endorse Biden. I mean, look, I don't know if you saw in her documentary, the power she had to get people to go vote was unbelievable. Like because a huge demographic of people who don't vote are that younger generation.
Right.
They're like, and like, it's sucks. I mean, like that's a whole other thing, but like they need to vote. But she made like I don't remember the exact number it said in the documentary, but I'm talking like tens of thousands
Thousands of
of
people, yeah.
people get to the polls that had never voted, like just didn't vote before. And because Taylor spoke out, they did. So I don't know, there's been rumors about whether she's going to do that, come out and publicly endorse Biden. I mean, we know that she's made her statements clear on Trump, but that's still, I mean, the Republicans are having a field day with the conspiracy theories on that. I mean, they hate her. They hate her, as you can imagine,
I
because
mean,
they're
of
like,
course they hate her, but like, wouldn't it
the
benefit them?
Trump supporters hate her.
Wouldn't it benefit
But
them
it,
to not hate her though?
oh, they hate,
And
no, just,
and do you think the people that are voting for Trump hate her? Like, do they listen to her music? They have to,
no,
right?
but people who vote for Trump are going to hate anyone who doesn't drink his Kool-Aid.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like even though that she hates Trump, they might still like her, which
They
is
might
so
still like her music, but they're gonna like, you know how that they are. I'm like, no, she's stupid. She's woke. I mean, you know, I'm just saying, like
woke.
people, the real hardcore like followers
True.
of his are gonna like boycott her if she goes against him. It's just,
Well, this is definitely not to get into politics, but turning into quite the crazy
but
roller
it might get political.
story.
But for right now, I am so into this. I'm so into the relationship. I hope, you know, it's funny that the Super Bowl asked Taylor to perform, and she was just like, hell no. She said no. Did you know that?
Did they ask her to perform after Usher was confirmed?
No, no, that she was asked way before
How
Usher.
how has she never? I was wondering this the other day. How has she never performed at the Super Bowl? Period. Because if now's not the year, it's going to be next year. Like how?
I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is just my opinion. I think performing in the Super Bowl is like for CD list performers now. I don't think it's what it used to be.
But wait a second. Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Shakira, Jennifer
Rihanna
Lopez.
was, what was that, like 2 years
Last
ago?
year,
But like Rihanna's like not as, I mean, yeah, but even
Jenna
she's
like
not as
revealed
big
her
as she
baby
was.
bump. She was like badass.
I don't know. I was just like, I mean, Taylor Swift does not need the Super Bowl. She just
But like
doesn't.
Lady Gaga, Justin Timberlake. I don't know. I feel like for
But
sure
can you imagine if she performed this year at, oh,
it's too much and it's polarizing. But I
I
think she's
think that would have
perfect.
looked like too much, unless she confirmed before they knew that
Agreed.
Kansas City
It's
was
too
in there.
much. It's too
That would have
much.
been like, but if that had happened, I guarantee you this would be the most watched, and it probably still will be,
A
Super Bowl
hundred
of all
percent.
time.
Yeah, because of her. Oh, I already read that like folks, the NFL is already up by like some
No,
percentage
the
because
tickets are the highest they've ever been already.
right. So
Just because Taylor's boyfriend is playing in it. And like, yes, I called him Taylor's boyfriend, even though Travis Kelce is a massive deal. Just Taylor's boyfriend, because she might show up from Tokyo and now the tickets are through the roof. You guys, it's so crazy, her power.
it is really crazy. I do think she's the perfect performer for the Super Bowl because she's had so
Oh,
many
she'd
hits.
be amazing. Yeah,
She's
I mean, she'd
family
be great. But
friendly, kids love her. But yeah, agreed. I think the rumor mills would have been fueled to the worst had she been
I mean, they've had amazing before. I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm just saying I don't think it's what it used to be. It's kind of like when, remember,
fair
he used to be
enough.
on the cover of, remember, he used to be on the cover of Playboy, and that was like the biggest deal ever. I mean, we're
No,
talking like
nobody what is
decades ago.
Playboy.
Well, I do, you guys. I remember it.
Do
And
younger people
now
know what Playboy is? Do they know who Hugh Hefner
I
is?
don't know. That's like
He's
a
not
whole
even
weird
alive
topic.
anymore, right?
It's a weird comparison. I just remember when you were a playmate, and then maybe this is just because I don't know. I remember this in like my old days, and my brother having those magazines. It was a huge deal,
My
and then it just
brother had.
became like, and then it became like nothing. And I'm not saying performing the Super Bowl is nothing, but I don't think it has the clout it used to. And Taylor certainly doesn't
Wow.
need any more.
I feel like they've made some mistakes some years with who they've brought on, like,
Yeah,
maybe the best of the best. But man, I
I
love
think I'm gonna tell you. I think Usher's gonna kill it. Usher's great. I've seen
we
Usher
saw
live.
Usher together in
Yeah,
Mexico.
we saw it. He's super fun. He's
Phenom.
perfect for a Super Bowl. He's like, he's gonna be great. I have
I
high expectations for him.
You make me wanna leave the
Yeah,
one
he's got.
gonna
Sometimes you
make
forget how many hits that guy has. Honestly, it's a ton.
By the way, what is the deal with Usher and dating? He's always had a weird dating life.
I don't know. I remember him in Chile back in the day from TLC.
Not with her anymore?
Oh, that was no, that's the '90s.
I think he's still with her, no?
I know time's flying by, but that's no.
I swear he was.
They have not been together in a long time. Maybe like the 2000s, but they were a hot couple. I don't know who is he married. I don't even know. I don't know anything about
Kind of
Raymond
odd, I know.
Usher, Raymond, but I do know that he
Didn't
will be
Usher
great.
find Justin Bieber or something?
I think that was him.
I think he was one of the original people that found him
That
on
kind of
YouTube.
strikes a familiar chord.
Yeah, Usher,
I
dude,
think
he's always in the
maybe,
background. Oh,
yeah.
that's our time.
Oh, time's up. We don't want to get too off topic with Usher and Bieber, but
We could
it
have
does.
kept going.
We our original plan was to talk about lots of celebrity couples, but Taylor Swift's just too big to spread. She just
Too
took up
big.
the whole.
So hopefully Kansas State Chiefs will win the Super Bowl and there will be lots of
The whole
positive
world's gonna be cheering for him.
whole world. And I hope there's a wedding to be had in the future.
There's been so many engagement rumors, and who knows if that's true. But you guys, I'm cheering for them. I really want it to
But I
happen.
need your prediction now. Honest
Okay.
prediction. If they
All
get
right.
married, which let's hope. Let's say when they get married. Let's project. When they get married, is
Okay.
it going to be a private, no paparazzi, like very hard, nothing leaked, or is it going to be like a massive celebrity clad attended wedding in like Italy and
I don't know. I think actually it's gonna be somewhere in between. I don't think it's gonna be just private, just her and like a few people. I think she has a lot of friends and like a posse, but I don't think
right?
it's gonna be this big blown out lavish thing. No. I
Because
think
we know
she's gonna
she
have a
lives
very
in that like childish, like amateur kind of like romantic world. So I envision it to be this like 20 bridesmaids, like really like
Oh, you do? You
oh
maybe
yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, I
Maybe you're
do.
right. You might be right.
And like a
You,
massive blowout weekend, like flying everyone into some
I think it's
crazy.
gonna be a great weekend. I think
Yeah.
she'll do something very cool and
Yep,
chic and tasteful. But she's gonna try and keep it major under wraps, I think.
me too. One more thing that I thought found that was really cool that she did starting in like I think her very early in her career, something very smart before we get off is the second she started making money, she started buying real estate.
Oh, I know.
And she has millions upon millions of millions and millions and millions in her portfolio, hundreds of millions in her portfolio now. I think anybody who lands across money like that, that's such a smart thing to do. And she owns a couple properties right here in my hometown in Nashville.
Does she really?
Nashville,
Well,
yeah.
she's from Nashville.
No, she's from Pennsylvania.
But she lived in Nashville a long
Yes.
time. They
She
moved
moved
her
here
there when
probably,
yeah, they
yeah,
moved
for
her
the
there when her
career.
career was first starting. Her dad quit his job. Remember that was like the big her dad was like a Merrill Lynch banker. I mean, he probably helped her with the investment stuff.
Those are
They
good
left and
parents.
uprooted their life to move to Nashville for her to try and make it. So
Look what they did. She
she
owes a
has a
lot
very
of her success, I feel,
a
to her
soft spot.
parents.
Oh,
Yeah.
her parents like went all in on it, but they were
Yeah.
still yeah. She's a complete success story for how parents should handle famous kids
And she's never had a public meltdown or anything like
because
that,
she's had a stable environment. That's why. I mean, poor
Right.
Brittany
It's
never had a
crazy.
chance. Her parents were batshit.
So
I
many
mean,
of
you
them
have to
out
be
there.
like
Lindsay Lohan, so
extra.
many. Yeah.
No, her mom was insane. So was her dad. You have to be like so extra level stable, and I think it's really a true credit to her family, in my opinion.
I know. Another one I think is similar to that is Megan Trainor. She has a very stable family. She is very
I don't
close
know
with
who that is.
Megan Trainor.
Yeah,
Megan
who's Megan
Trainor?
Trainor? I don't know who that is. I really don't.
I
Sorry, I don't.
my
Yeah,
Louis Vuitton, na, 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 nothing.
I don't know who that
I
is.
made you look. No, Megan Trainor. She's
No, I have
huge.
no idea, you guys.
Okay,
I
I'll have to
know.
send you some texts on Megan. She's fab.
Maybe.
All right, Foldy, we'll see you on the next episode, everybody. Thank you for joining
Thanks
us.
for joining us.
This was another episode of
Control chaos.
See y'all soon.